Remember back in school when your teachers used to make you write an outline before you wrote an essay? Now think about how many times you've written an outline before an email, a report, or a proposal at work. Is it 0? If that's the case, that's okay. We're going to discuss how you can use outlines in a later video. We'll get to that. Right now, we're going to focus on what you do before you outline. That's right, there's stuff you should do before you even complete an outline. I know I've just blown your mind with that, right? This is the first step of the 3 Ps writing process, planning. In the planning process, we're going to be thinking about 3 main things. Number 1, our context. Number 2, our purpose. And number 3, our audience. We want to spend about 25% of our entire writing process time planning. By planning, we actually save ourselves time creating and organizing our content. We also impress our reader with our thoughtfulness and our credibility. So number 1, context. Context is what you're actually writing. This is the type of message. Is it an email, a report, a proposal? You also want to ask yourself what you're not writing. In other words, what's the scope of information that's going to be in this message? When you're thinking about context, you want to think about timing. Is this message urgent? Can it wait? Am I communicating with people in different time zones? And the last question you want to ask yourself is this message even right for written communication? Number 2, purpose. Purpose is why you're writing. In business communication, nerds like me say there are 3 main purposes of writing: to inform, to persuade, and to promote goodwill. For example, you might write an email about an upcoming policy change to inform your audience. You might be asking for funding to persuade your audience, or you might be sending out a thank you to promote goodwill. Your purpose determines how you organize your content, and we're going to talk about that in a later video. But for now, you want to focus on what is it that you actually want the reader to do? Because if you're confused about that, you can guarantee they will be too. Number 3, we want to think about our audience. And this is actually the most important aspect of planning. Who are you writing for? We want everything to be about our audience here. In business communication, it's really important to think about not just our primary audience, in other words, who our message is addressed to, but also our secondary audience. Because once we put it in writing, it lives forever. And your secondary audience is anyone that could read your message. So when you're thinking about your audience, you want to ask yourself, how are they going to react to this message? Are they going to feel positive, neutral, or negative about the information in the message? The answer to that question is going to influence how you organize your content. The next question that you want to ask yourself is, what do they expect from me? We know that audiences have higher expectations for written communication because they expect that you had more time to plan and polish them than verbal messages that are happening in real time. They're more forgiving with those. You also want to ask yourself, what's my relationship with my reader? Is this an upward flow of information? Am I communicating with someone above me in the hierarchy of the organization? Is it a downward flow? Am I communicating with my subordinates? Or is it horizontal flow, peer-to-peer communication? This is going to influence your tone and style of writing. You also want to ask yourself, what does this audience need from me? How much do they already know about my topic? What kind of evidence are they going to find persuasive? For example, you might know that your upper management really likes data, and they're going to need a lot of hard data to understand why you're proposing this new initiative. So what kind of evidence are they going to be finding persuasive is really important to determine. So let's review step 1. I analyze the context, purpose, and audience of every single message that I write, from a simple email to a long proposal. Remember, you want to be spending about 25% of your process planning. And the higher stakes the message, the more planning you want to do. As a result, you're going to make a much better impression on your reader. You're going to build your reputation as a good communicator and a writer. And you're going to be much more likely to get more of what you want.